First, he's got to get by Kellar, and there are not too many people, if any, who do not think he won't get by Kellar tonight. Let's go to Frank Freeman in the ring.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we introduce these boxers, there's a couple of people in the audience I'd like you to meet. One of them is the Canadian heavyweight champion, highly ranked for championship honors. Let's welcome Trevor Berbick. Trevor Berbick, where is he? Ladies and gentlemen, also in the room is a gentleman who, by the sweat of his brow, the skill of his brains, and perhaps the electricity of his hair, has become the premier boxing promoter in America. Let's welcome Don King. Here he is, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event, 10 rounds in the heavyweight division. A Don King sports presentation under the supervision of the Miami Boxing Commission, Al Goodman, chairman, Jeff Watson, vice chairman. The officials assigned by the commission are doctors in attendance, Dr. Steve Shiner, Camilo Dennis, and chief medical examiner, Dr. Rodriguez Acosta. Our timekeeper is Sam Garalny, counting for the knockdowns. Dr. Billy Yoham, judging, Ed Levine, Al Walensky, and the referee, Eddie Ecker. And the principals from Council Bluffs, Iowa. He's wearing the blue trunks with the white trim. At 212 pounds, Rick King Kong Kellar. And his opponent from Louisville, Kentucky. He weighs 239 pounds, wearing the white trunks with the gold trim. The #1 contender for the World Boxing Commission and the USBA champion, Greg Page.
You see some of the differences between these two fighters. Kellar a little bit older, the height almost the same, and the reach similar, and the weight, of course, much bigger. Greg Page at 239, he is almost always bigger than his opponents.
Greg Page out of a city called Louisville, which spawned Cassius Clay, later Muhammad Ali. And Rick Kellar, a young man who quit high school, got his diploma in the service after enlistment, came back, went to college. Pretty good basketball and football player. As a matter of fact, they've challenged each other to basketball one-on-one if this doesn't work out. Page, the heavy favorite, first round of a scheduled 10-rounder, with Page the #1 contender in the world, looking for Larry Holmes. And here we go, and let's see how it goes. Everybody says it's Page. We'll see.
Well, if there are people out there that have not seen Greg Page fight before, he's got an outstanding left jab, a lot of power in his right hand. He just landed one to the head of Kellar. And when his weight is down a bit, he's got pretty good lateral movement.
239 pounds to the 212 of Kellar. Kellar hasn't, there's the first punch, a good left to the head.
Kellar also has a pretty good jab, interestingly enough. That is probably his best weapon.
Okay, it's head up, step back. Come on, Rick, don't throw one right, come on.
Page has lost only once in 28 fights. That is a big man, Greg Page. Left was picked up by Kellar, did a rather good job of tying up Page.
And that loss you referred to came to Trevor Berbick back on June 11th, 1982. Berbick, of course, introduced just prior to this fight.
break. Get out, King. Come on, step up, step up.
It's Eddie Eckert, the referee here. Oh, a couple of good jabs by Page.
Hey, try it. Get back, Rick. Let's go, Rick.
Kellar has done little. Landed one left high on the head of Page earlier.
Kellar seems very, very tentative in the ring, and he seems very, well, reluctant to throw his left jab, which is a punch that makes things work for him.
Hasn't seen this man before, but he's certainly heard about him. Minutes ago.
We might expect Page to set a quicker pace early. You always wonder if Page is in shape, and in this case, he only had 3.5 weeks training, he said, so maybe a long fight would be something he does not want.
That's a break. That's clean. Step out. Step out.
It hasn't exactly been a torrid pace, however, in round one.
No. Page has done most of the landing and most of the throwing of punches.
Now there's the jab from Kellar, and it got in. So when he throws that punch, I think it can get in there. And Greg Page, while he's a fairly good defensive fighter, has been hit by a lot of fighters and hurt, I might add. James Quick-Tillis had him down. That right came from somewhere, but I don't know where.
I didn't see it. That was such a short right that I never saw it. Maybe we'll see it on a replay, but that was a quick and, by me, with Page's back to me, unseen right. But Kellar felt it and went down.
Kellar, short shopping right by Page, and often those are the most powerful, but they were definitely hard to look at.
Greg Page, let's see if we can pick it up, Al.
You did what, Pete? You had the water. I'm sorry, I know.
We're in the Miami Convention Center, and we hope that we can show you that short right thrown by Greg Page that decked King Kong Kellar. Now let's try. Take a look at it.
Kellar was coming in when it was thrown. There was a reasonably good right hand. I've seen Greg Page throw better ones, but it did land. Maybe from another angle we'll get a better idea of the force of the punch. Frankly, that looked like just a chopping right hand. It just didn't look like it had much power on it.
And I remember the words of King Kong Kellar. I've never been knocked down. I was tired one time, fatigued one time, but never been off my feet, never stopped. And you kept saying, but you've never met a man like Greg Page.
Well, clearly Page has more punching power as we're into round two than the fighters he's been facing. His last fight against Kellar's last fight was against Gordy Reset. He lost a 10-round decision. So he is stepping up in class, and he saw how that affects a fighter in the first round.
Good jab by Page. Stalking his man now. Called a tune-up, but I'm sure that Greg Page simply is glad to be out of the courtrooms. Boy, that's tough punching. Right to the body, left to the head by Page.
He is hurting Kellar with everything he throws.
And there's a cut over his left eye of Kellar. And there it is. Wow, he goes down in a hurry from that left hook. Right to the head and a left hook flush on the button. And Rick Kellar, King Kong, has stepped up in class. He's finished. He has had it. Eye banged up. Down he went. Page scores his 18th knockout in 29 fights. He is 28-1 and still looking for a shot at Larry Holmes.
And after you see this action, you might say he's still looking for a tune-up bout. Not much to go on here. Left hook. Not a big left hook. I mean, you've got to say that Kellar did not take big punches in this fight. Those punches were not that great, and we'll get another angle at it. Page does punch with power, there's no doubt about that, but these are not his best shots. Well, that was a good left hook.
Obviously the best shots Kellar has ever felt, because he said he's never been stopped except when he was young and fatigued. He did not last through round two. Page, as expected, the winner, and easily. Frank Freeman is in the ring.
The time, 1 minute of the second round, Referee stops the bout. Winner by a TKO, Greg Page.
Well, you kind of hate that when you talk to the men and their conversation with Al lasts much longer than the fight. Conversation lasted about 8 minutes. The fight only lasted 4 minutes. Kellar the loser, Greg Page the winner.